Hi, this is Adam. This is another Eye on North Carolina blog. We are here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina at Bingham School. This has a lot of history. In the 18 and 1900s, this was a preparatory school for young men wanting to go into UNC Chapel Hill. And we are here with Francois, who's going to tell us more about the history and all the little things that accompany the inn.
That's the oldest part, 1790 log cabin. Alright, so here we are at the inn at Bingham School. We have four structures here that this is one of three historical sites of Orange County. We have a 1790 log cabin. 1801 was when a federal building was added on with siding. 1835, our main part, which is where our living room, dining room is. And then in 1845 is when it became a school and when the office was added. And so we'll look through those, and then this is Delilah here, the greeter. Oh, there she goes.
How old is she?
She's 2004, so 10 years old. 1790, they built this two-story log cabin. 11 years later, built this federal building, and in 1835 built the main part, and that's when this roof part over the porch was built. 1801, our 1801 room with a nice little modern bathroom with a little air jacuzzi tub and a shower. And then you can see the wall.
Oh, wow.
That's called noggin. It would have been a good place to be during gunfire back in the days.
Is it to protect your noggin? Is that why they called it that?
No, it's just, I'm not exactly sure why they did that, but so I had to rebuild that after our fires. The 1801 room. Not such tall people, because getting into these bathrooms here, you can tell I'm not that tall, but so we have a nice little upstairs A-shaped room. And then here you can see part of the log cabin. This is the other side. The 1790 log cabin was 11 years earlier. So here we are in the office where guests come and check in, where you can see some of my collections. Here I have petanque balls. We have two official courts, which we'll check that out in a little while.
What is petanque?
Petanque is a game similar to bocce, but the balls are smaller and heavier. And it was, I think, invented about 118 years ago in a little village in France by a guy in a wheelchair at a bar. You have a little cochonnet, it's called, little piglet, that you throw it, and then you try to get your ball closest to it. And the balls are, you can tell them apart by the different grooves in them. So here's the office where people check in. I'm into rocks, as you can see. My mom's from Brazil, so I have a lot of Brazilian. But everywhere I go, I pick up a rock. And so here we have the main part. Foyer, not too much light, but so in here is the first house in North Carolina that was put on the National Trust. Received an award from Preservation North Carolina for the restoration that was done on it, which there's the award.
Award of Merit.
Yeah. And then above that is the National Registry, which was in 1878, the house was put on the National Registry. A report card here where 50 is the high score, and right here you have a 49 and 5.6. They were not going to budge on that, given the 50. That was in Latin, but he did get a 50 in geography.
This was a very tough school.
So this was from 1875, and this was actually when it moved from this location to Mebbinsville, where you can see under the Bingham School there it's written Mebbinsville, because this was the Oaks location. The school started in 1793. I believe that's the same year UNC opened up. It's the first state university in the U.S. So the Bingham School started in Wilmington, North Carolina. Reverend came over from Ireland. He was offered a job in Wilmington, got on a ship, landed in Wilmington, but it was the wrong Wilmington. It was Wilmington, Delaware. And so he hitched a ride, but by the time he got to Wilmington, North Carolina, they had given his job away. And so a family put him up for a while until he was able to open up his own school in 1793, and then it moved from there to Pittsburgh to Hillsborough, when Hillsborough was the capital. Then from Hillsborough to this location in 1845 for 20 years. The last 2 years that it was at this location, it turned into a military school, and hard to get supplies out here, and so they moved the school to Mebbinsville, where when it was at this location the students lived in farms around here, and then they would come in for the day. When it moved to Mebbinsville, it became a full military school with barracks. The students all lived on the grounds, and then it moved to Asheville, where it ended in 1928. Then here's a letter from the University of Virginia, and it talks about there are about 300 students here now, and I suppose there will be more. I'm sure there's more than 300 at the university. We'll have a good many old Binghamites here this year, and names a few, which one of them was one of the Bingham kids. Here's a jacket I found on eBay in Alabama, which this was the student that wore this, and here's a picture of him with this before it had its chevron, and then so this was when the school was in Mebbinsville. Door here was a closet also that it went outside. There was a door. If you look at this picture here, you can see that door right there. So we're standing in one door, and this was another little closet with a door so you could go outside. That's the kitchen. Alright, so this is the headmaster's room. It's one of my favorite rooms. It has nice views outside. 3 directions. Out that other window you can see the pétanque courts. We get a lot of folks that come for the weekend that will do like a little mini tournament. And in the office, I don't know if you noticed, there we have like medals, silver, gold, bronze. So this is the Milk House suite. So I have a little sitting room.
This is beautiful.
And sometimes if people have like kids, we can set up a cot in the sitting room, and then that way you have the bathroom in between. And so here you have a nice views.
This is beautiful.
That's the old smokehouse there, 1801. You play with 3 balls or 2 balls if you're playing in teams, but see, you have your different style balls. Everybody has their own. So you have your cochonnet that you throw a minimum of 4 meters, maximum 7 meters. And then whoever threw that cochonnet throws their ball. Then they get out of the circle. Then another player comes and then they throw their ball. Then that player gets out of the circle and the third player throws their ball. And so whoever's the closest relaxes. And so you have a rope here for measurements to see. So this one looks to be the closest right here. So that's the second. So the third, so whoever's furthest, they get back in the circle. Brass gets 1 point. So if the other brass ball would have been right here, because only one person is scoring, so it was 1 point, but they could have gotten 2 points if they would have done something like that. And so then you bring your ring, you put it there, and then you shoot the other direction. So you go both sides of the court. The nu and Yeah, it's a game played to 13. And so here we're on court number 1, and you've got the court number 2 over there. A nice little view of the new edition, 1835. And then you can see the office there on the side, the 1845.
I would like to thank Francois for touring us around at Bingham School. A lot of history here. It's a very quaint B&B, and we hope to see y'all soon.